travel back to 1924 and test your knowledge. From pop culture and inventions to historic events, see how many of these trivia questions you can get right. Let's begin. What was the primary source of entertainment in many homes that saw a huge boom in 1924? The radio. How much did a first-class postage stamp cost in 1924? $0.02. How much did a loaf of bread cost in 1924? $0.09. How much did a gallon of gas cost in 1924? $0.24 to $0.25. How much did a dozen eggs cost in 1924? $0.12 to $0.44. Who was President of the United States in 1924? Calvin Coolidge. What famous NYC department store held its first parade in 1924? Macy's. What is the name of the famous parade first held by Macy's in 1924? Macy's Christmas Parade. What hot sandwich was invented by Lionel C. Sternberger in Los Angeles? The cheeseburger. What motion picture company founded in 1924 uses Leo the lion as its mascot? Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. What is MGM's official motto? Ars Gratia Artis. What was the highest-grossing movie of 1924? The Seahawk. Which professional sports team debuted in Boston in 1924? Boston Bruins. Which team won the 1924 World Series? Washington Senators. Which team won the 1924 Stanley Cup? Montreal Canadiens. What comic strip featuring a red-haired girl and her dog debuted in 1924? Little Orphan Annie. Which brand of facial tissue was introduced in 1924? Kleenex. What candy with a mystery flavor lollipop was founded in 1924? Dum-Dums. What honey-flavored chewy candy bar first appeared in 1924? Bit-O Honey. What famous Italian-American dish was reportedly invented in Tijuana in 1924? Caesar salad. What famous composer premiered Rhapsody in Blue in 1924? George Gershwin. Which world leader and founder of the Soviet Union died in January 1924? Vladimir Lenin. Which former U.S. president died in February 1924? Woodrow Wilson. Who became director of the Bureau of Investigation in 1924? J. Edgar Hoover. Which major law granted citizenship to all Native Americans born in the U.S.? The Indian Citizenship Act. The first Winter Olympics were held in 1924 in which French city? Chamonix. How many medals did the U.S. win in the 1924 Winter Olympics? Four medals. How many medals did the U.S. win in the 1924 Summer Olympics? $99 medals. Which horse won the Kentucky Derby in 1924? Black Gold. What was the average household income in the U.S. in 1924? $2,196. What was the average cost of a new house in the U.S. in 1924? $6,000 to $7,000. How much did an average Ford Model T cost in 1924? $260 to $290. What major production milestone did Ford reach in 1924? $10 million cars produced. Approximately how many people lived in the United States in 1924? About 114,109,000 people. What was the average life expectancy in the U.S. in 1924? Men, 58.1 years, women, 61.5 years. Which computing company adopted the name IBM in 1924? Computing, Tabulating, Recording Company. What movie company was founded by Harry and Jack Cohn and Joe Brandt? Columbia Pictures. Which diagnostic tool measuring heart electrical activity had early clinical use in 1924? Electrocardiogram. Who proved that Andromeda was a galaxy and not a nebula? Edwin Hubble. Which famous British author published A Passage to India in 1924? E.M. Forster. Which iconic New York landmark was declared a national monument in 1924? Statue of Liberty. Which national park in California expanded to include the Giant Forest in 1924? Sequoia National Park. Which mountaineers disappeared while attempting Everest in 1924? George Mallory and Andrew Irvine. Which American trial involving two wealthy students became known as the Trial of the Century? Leopold and Loeb trial. Which writer published the Surrealist Manifesto in 1924? André Breton. Which country became a republic in 1924 after abolishing its monarchy? Greece and Mongolia. Who won the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1924 for work on X-ray spectroscopy? Carl Mann George Siegbahn. Which luxury car brand celebrated its 20th anniversary in 1924? Rolls-Royce. Which pope led the Catholic Church in 1924? Pope Pius XI. What aviation milestone did Lowell H. Smith, Leslie P. Arnold, Eric H. Nelson, and John Harding, Jr. achieve in 1924? The first aerial circumnavigation of the world.